This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so I know Jim Jones fans will be in here with their pom-poms on, rooting for him. But guess what, okay? The truth is the truth. He went back on Angela Yee and talked about Camron again. And these questions can be requested to not be asked. There's no reason for Jim Jones to be up at Angela Yee anyways, okay? It's been a month since since Kanye dissed him. A month. The time to go would have been back then. Kanye's already moved on. But Kanye's moved on to like 2 different albums at this point. Now, the latest release from Jim Jones was called At the Church Steps. He even released a deluxe hoping it would boost the sales, but not one song has really broken over 100,000 streams. Only 2 that have been marketed for about 6 months. One has 5 Foreign on it. That got 200,000. This is like nothing. This is what you call going triple plastique. Triple plastique, okay? There's no reason for Jim Jones to be up there, but he is desperate. Your original game plan didn't work, Jim, where you went at Camron. Camron told the truth. 50 and him joked about the truth. When they were beefing, you jumped ship and sided with 50 with Jewels. Mostly you. And that was the most that was the end of Dipset right there. You ended Dipset. You were a very important part of Dipset. And you destroyed what you built. And then really, you can't really take anything serious what Jim Jones says after that, you know? Bone had already dropped, all that stuff. And Jim Jones just kind of dwindled away as time. After the wiretaps and everything, you had to be done with Jim Jones. After Chano was up there with Jim Jones because he works for Angela Yee. And when he took that chain, right, of Troy Ave's, who he was friends with, right? He was friends with Troy Ave. Picked up the chain at the Irving Plaza incident and kept it. And then revealed that 7 years later. Clown. Okay? Jim Jones arrested in Atlanta. Released with no charges. Interesting. Wiretaps with people who got football numbers. Instructing them to do things. Never got pulled in. Interesting. So he goes off on Camron, and this actually comes out of his mouth. He says, I helped Camron write all of his albums. You helped Camron write all of his albums? Not with the trash that was coming out of your mouth back in the day. It took you a while to become a decent rapper. And when you really started selling, it was because of Max B and then later Stack Bundles. Okay? They helped you write those albums. Actually, they wrote those albums for you. And they taught you, even though Mace taught you how to rap, those guys taught you how to make songs. And that's a fact. And if you knew Jim back in the day, you already knew he was a clown, but you also knew that he was very ambitious. Okay? And I mean that as a compliment, because without Jim Jones being ambitious, Dipset would have never happened. It would have just been Camron and a few people around him. It never would have been Dipset. So there is no Dipset without Camron, Jim Jones coming together. And that's just a fact, okay? And there was a bunch of other factors involved, like, you got the members, but there's people that are key behind the scenes. Luca Brase, you got to give him his credit because he found Hell Rel and a bunch of other people. Joe, and I'm missing a bunch of people, but I'm talking about key behind the scenes people, not the people that were, So I'm talking about behind the scenes. It took all those guys to work together. There's more of them, but there was key people behind the scenes. You can see Shice Bubs because he was an extension of Purple City. Without Jim Jones having success with Purple City, probably that really juiced him up to do his own rap thing independently. So then we got him saying, I'm happy for Mace and Camron figuring it out, doing the sports, because they were never really from the turf anyways. What? You were from the Bronx. You're from where Hell Rail's from, Weeks Avenue. What are you talking about, Jim? Jim, see, here's why Jim's a clown. Because he really believed he was like a blood, and when he was just like, he wasn't a sucker, right? But then he took on this gang persona. Like, yeah, I'm a gang member, and I was turning up in the hood. Nah, you were turning up with Dipset, but you weren't some like feared person in New York City. He wants to have that reputation that like Alpo had. You ran from Alpo, and I would too. I would too. Let's see what he says here. I can't believe he's just trying this over and over again. Dissing Kanye, dissing Camron. Maybe I can make some money with an album. Bro, your last album flopped, bro.
To maybe up to the album he did after Diplomats, like Come Home With Me, his album he did on.
You was on the first one. Me,
I was on all of his
my
albums.
mom's and Jimmy, right? Yeah.
You heard? Mm-hmm. And I always knew how to rap, but I just didn't know how to rap good. But I always knew how to the bars. I always knew, you dig. I knew how you dig. So it was like, but yeah, I helped that man write all his music.
You got to be kidding. He actually said that. See, I helped him write all of his music. What?
And I commend them for figuring out how to do something else. I mean, they doing sports shows and shit like that. Cool. They always been comedians and shit like that. You dig? They never really been in the turf like that. Like, I'm happy for them. They get into a bag. Stay to your bag. You heard? You getting so much money, then you shouldn't be concerned about nothing else. You shouldn't be worried about nothing else. Especially not me. Please, leave me out your mouth.
You're the... Yo, bro. Like, Jim Jones thinks that, like, he doesn't want that to be exposed, that he was a betraying snake back in the day. And he was.
You heard? Other than that, I'm cool. Yeah, I feel good, though. But, like, I just want to tell people that's not what this is all about, man. Like, I'm happy to be where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, people be like, yo, don't... Like, I just took the role of the person that was under him so he can be who he needed to be. You heard? I just know how to play my position.
He said, he never fed me. I fed myself. You guys help feed each other. Pause. Yeah. Like, you got to say that situation with Dipset, Camron and Jim, those two together at that moment were very powerful. And you know, things end. Jim Jones can't move on. Jim Jones is the one who can't move on. He's butthurt. Pause. By Mason Camron. Let's be honest. That's the truth. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.